Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Crossbow. I am jumping deep into this series before I even have an intro or graphics or anything like that ready because I like this game, it excites me, and one of the things I like to do when I enjoy a game is to do in-depth on it to help me learn about it and so that I can help you guys too. Today, we're going to be doing the Crossbow, which is a very frustrating weapon. I wanted to get this one out of the way first, and I also wanted to talk about it because there's a lot of misconceptions about how it works. One of the most important things to know is the drop range. So I did some testing here just in my private server with me and my wife. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the thin lines on the map so that I know my exact distance and shoot next to my wife at head level at this little bus stop so you can see the exact drop that it has at certain distances, and after a couple of iterations we'll compare and you'll get an idea of what this weapon will do. I blew the map up so that it's really easy to see the ranges. That one was at 30, this one is at 50 meters. We can do the same test at 75 meters and then at 100 meters, and after 100 meters you really don't want to be shooting the crossbow, so I didn't deem it necessary to continue testing. After doing all of that, you can kind of get a look at it and see that it drops significantly non-linearly over distance, and at 100 meters I had a hard time finding the arrows until I looked out onto the street and saw that they actually went under the bus stop. So I made this little nice infographic, tried to line it up right. Less than 30 meters there's basically no drops, you can shoot it straight ahead. 50 meters has a little bit of drop, you might want to aim up just a smidge. Once we're starting to get out toward like 75 meters the drop gets significant, half a body, and after 100 meters you're actually going to be hitting the ground or missing the body completely. So the crossbow is really designed to be used at less than 100 meters ideally, and that's not even factoring in anything else about the weapon, such as that the crossbow bolt travel speed is 160 meters per second, or about 1/5 the speed that of most rifles. Now you do have to lead your rifles, snipers, and SMGs in this game. This one you're going to have to lead 5 times as much and account for the drop, so it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get kills on moving targets at range. There's some fun things you can do. You can put any scope on the crossbow that's not an 8x or 15x. I could have sworn I was able to at one point, but in my testing I found that it just would not take an 8 or 15x. Probably the most useful one is the 4x because you have the mil dots. You're able to line up your sights for long range and do a little bit of work. Now, one of the things I'm sure you're all curious about is the damage, so let's talk about that. The crossbow damage to the limbs is going to be 52.5 per bolt. Damage to the body at level 0, no helmet, is 105. Level 174, level 264, and level 3 at 47. The damage to the head is going to be well over 100 or a one-shot kill regardless of what kind of head armor you're wearing. That's 263, 184, 156, and 118 respectively. So the crossbow is typically 2 body shots to kill, maybe a bit less if they're damaged or something like that, and it's always 1 headshot to kill. That's a very rare thing in this game. It's the only true ranged weapon that's a 1 headshot kill except for the AWM, and technically shotguns will always kill in 1 headshot regardless of helmet if you're point and blank, so that's a very nice benefit. However, the crossbow is blocked by the pan. The pan is almighty and cannot be challenged. You can block it both in hand or on your butt. If you just happen to have one, I always take a pan. One of the major downsides to this weapon, even more than the goofy travel time, is that it takes 5.5 seconds to reload your crossbow. Even if you get a quiver, it's 30% faster than that, but that's still very, very slow to get a shot in that, unless you get a headshot, which is going to be difficult, won't one-shot kill. Very frustrating. And oddly, for such a weapon, the spawn rate is very rare. They're seriously hard to find. I have a custom server, so I was able to jack the spawn rates way up, and they were still somewhat difficult to get my hands on. And what I find funny about that is the amount of games that I've played where it felt like there was nothing but crossbows. I couldn't find anything but crossbows. How many times I've been stuck with just a stupid crossbow and a pistol? Yet when I actually want to find one for in-depth, or when I stop to think about how often they pop up, they're not that frequent. And my overall recommendation on the weapon is that other than it being almost completely silent, it's a terrible weapon that you want to avoid. It's not reliable, it's not practical, it rarely kills in 1 shot unless you're very good at getting headshots. I would pretty much never take this over any other ranged weapon, and in all the time I've been playing PUBG, I think I might have just a handful of total crossbow kills. I was going to say 3, 4, 5. I've got a few random desperate lucky ones and a few on stream, and they're just very challenging. It's literally just not worth it. Now, if you want to show off, you want to make montages, you want to have fun, go for it. Other than that, I would absolutely avoid it like the plague. Guys, that is all for this short episode of PUBG In Depth. First episode. Next time around, we're going to be taking a look at rifles or perhaps SMGs or something a little more complicated, and we'll have some more fun gameplay. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.